Hello dear students, welcome again. In this class we are going to discuss the properties of determinants. We will see one by one. The very first property says the value of determinants unchanged if the rows and columns are interchanged. Let us see what is the meaning of this first. Say for example, I write a determinant of order 2, say whose elements 1, 2, 3, 4. You know how to evaluate product of diagonal elements minus product of other diagonal elements. So you are going to get minus 2. Now let me write another determinant delta dash, which is obtained by doing this, that is interchanging the rows and columns of delta. Delta dash is a determinant obtained by interchanging rows and columns of delta. So this is row 1, 2. I am interchanging to column. 3, 4. Second row. I write it in second column. Now find the value of this determinant. 1 into 4, 4 minus 2 into 3, 6. That is equal to minus 2. No change in the value of determinant. That is what the property says. The value of determinant unchanged if rows and columns are interchanged. Now, this can be treated as, for understanding sake, determinant of matrix C corresponding to this, the matrix whose elements 1, 2, 3, 4. Now look at this. I can write it as the transpose of this, because on interchanging rows into columns you are going to get transpose. First column 1, 2, second column 3, 4. So with this idea, what this property says, determinant of matrix A is same as the determinant of its transpose. In very simplest way you can understand this. Now let us prove this property by taking general determinant. Say I am taking, let a delta equal to a determinant whose first row elements A1, B1, C1, A2, B2, C2, say A3, B3, C3. Some elements I written. Now let me expand. What is the value of this determinant? That is A1 into, I am writing directly, leave first row, first column, you are going to get B2 C3 minus B3 C2. Since I am expanding by first row, signs I have to use plus, minus, plus A1 I written, next minus B1 I have to write. Minus B1 into. Now leave first row, second column. Leave first row, second column. A2 C2, A3 C3. Principal diagonal elements. A2 C3 minus A3 C2. Next, third element, plus C1 into. Plus, minus, plus. Leave first row, third column. On leaving first row, third column, A1, B2, A3, B3. Now, diagonal elements, A2, B3 minus A3, B2. A2, B3 minus A3, B2. So, what I did here, I considered determinant of order 3 to prove that result. You can take determinant of order 2, order 4, any order you can take. So I have taken determinant of order 3 and expanded. This is what the determinant expression I get. Now let delta dash be the determinant obtained by interchanging rows and columns of delta. So I am constructing one more determinant. Name is delta dash. How it is obtained? By interchanging rows into columns of delta. That is delta dash equal to. In the first column I have to write A1, B1, C1. Second column A2, B2, C2. Third column A3, B3, C3. Now my job is to show that this delta and delta dash values are one and the same, because the value of determinant remains unchanged even though you interchange rows into columns. First I consider delta, evaluated, this is the expression I get. Now I interchange rows into columns, this is the determinant I get. I have to show this delta dash expression is same as this. As you know, you can evaluate, you can expand the determinant using any row, any column. I can expand by first row also. After expansion of first row, I have to arrange the expression in this fashion. So, to make it easy, I expand by first column. Expanding by first column. Expanding by C1. What are the signs I have to use? Plus, minus, plus. Plus A1 into. Now, leave first row, first column. B2, C3 minus, it is B3, C2. Next element B1 minus B1 into. Now you have to drop first column and second row. What you get? A2, C3 minus C2, A3. Nothing but A3, C2. Next sign, plus, minus, this is plus, plus C1 into, plus C1 into. Leave first column, third row. Leave first column, third row. I get A2, B3 minus A3, B2. So here we expanded by R1 or any row column I can expand. After interchanging rows into columns, I have to show this delta dash is same as delta. For convenience, I have chosen column 1. Even you can prove it by expanding by R1, but it takes long time. Instead, I have taken column 1 because the value remains same. So on expanding by column 1, I get the same expression as that of 1. So I can write it is equal to delta. I will write from equation 1. Therefore, we shown that delta dash is same as delta. What is a delta dash? It is a determinant obtained by interchanging rows into columns. What delta? The original determinant. We shown that those two are one and the same. So in this way, in a determinant, if you are interchanging all the rows into columns, then value of determinant remains the same. Or else you can remember this as determinant of matrix A is same as a determinant of its transpose. Let me take the second property. Second property is, if any two rows or columns of a determinant are interchanged, then sign of determinant changes. Let us see the meaning of this first. I take a determinant of order 2. The value of this determinant minus 2. Let me write one more determinant, say delta dash. It is obtained by interchanging rows of delta. I am not interchanging rows into columns. I am interchanging R1 with R2. That is, in the place of R1 I am writing R2 elements. In the place of R2 I am writing R1 elements. That is 3, 4, 1, 2. That is what the property says. If any two rows of a determinant are interchanged, so I interchange R1 with R2 here. Or maybe we can interchange columns also. Rows or columns. If we do so, then sign of determinant changes. Let us see what the value of this determinant. It is 6 minus 4, that is equal to 2. Observe the values here. One is minus 2, another is plus 2. There is a change in the sign. Now let me write one more determinant, say delta dash. It is obtained by interchanging the columns now. I write first column as 2, 4. Second column as 1, 3. Again, what do you get? 6 minus 4. That is equal to 2. Observe these two, delta and delta double dash. Delta double dash is obtained by interchanging columns of delta. Delta dash is obtained by interchanging R1 with R2. If you interchange either rows or columns, then sign of determinant changes. That is what the property says. Now let us prove it in general. For that, here I have taken determinant of order 3. I expanded by R1. This is the expression I get. Now let a delta dash be the determinant obtained by interchanging, say, R1 with R2. Need not be R1 with R2. R1 with R3, R2 with R3, column 1 with column 2, column 2 with column 3. Any of these cases I can take. So I have chosen R1 with R2. That is delta dash equal to. In the first row I had to write A2, B2, C2. In the second row I had to write A1, B1, C1. Third row A3, B3, C3. Now my job is to show that this delta dash is a negative of delta. I have to show that delta dash is a minus of delta. I have to show that. That is, the expansion of this is a negative of this expression I have to prove. For that, I can expand delta dash by row 1, row 2, row 3 or C1, C2, C3 for convenience. To make the simplification simple, I choose the second row. So I write expanding by R2. What are the signs I have to follow? What are the signs I have to follow when I am expanding by second row? Minus plus minus. So minus A1 into, leave second row, first column, B2 C3 minus B3 C2. Next, plus B1 into, leave second row, second column. On leaving second row, second column, A2, C2, A3, C3 left, principal diagonal elements, A2, C3 minus A3, C2. Next, minus, element is C1, minus C1 into. Leave second row, third column. On leaving second row, third column, A2, B3 minus A3, B2. This is what I get. Now check, is it same as this? No. Now let me take minus sign common. It is a minus of A1 into, it is B2 C3 minus B3 C2. Here it will become minus B1 into A2 C3 minus A3 C2. This becomes plus C1 into A2 B3 minus A3 B2. Now observe the expression within this bracket. It is same as the expression 1. So I can write minus delta. So in this way, I have shown that delta dash is minus delta. What delta dash is? It is a determinant obtained by interchanging R1 and R2. Like this, you interchange R2 with R3 or any two columns you interchange, then sign of determinant changes. I hope you followed the explanation. On interchanging any two rows, any two columns of a determinant, sign of value of determinant changes. Now let me take the third. Property 3 says, in a determinant, if you observe any two rows or two columns are identical, that is corresponding elements of two rows are one and the same, then value of such a determinant is 0. Now let me prove this, or before that let me give an example. Say I take delta equal to First row 1, 2. I write second row elements are also 1, 2. Because I have to satisfy this condition. Two rows are identical now. First row 1, 2. Second row are also 1, 2. Their corresponding elements are 1, it is the same. Then value of this determinant is 0 according to the property. Yes, product of diagonal 1 into 2, 2 minus product of other diagonal, it is also 0. Now let him take one more, say delta 2. I will write two columns identical. First column 3, 4 I write, second column is also 3, 4. Now in this case, two columns are identical. The value of determinant must be 0. Yes, 3 into 4, 12 minus product of other diagonal elements 12, it is equal to 0. Not only in the case of determinant of order 2, it is true of any order. Let me take delta 3. First row 1, 2, 3. Second row 1, 2, 3. Third row 4, 5, 6. Now if you expand, you are ending with 0. For convenience, I choose R3. What are the signs? Plus, minus, plus. Expanded 4 into, leave third row, first column, because 4 is present in third row, first column. 2 into 3, 6, minus 2 into 3, 6. Minus 5 into, leave third row, second column. 1 into 3, minus 1 into 3. Plus, finally 6 into, leave third row, third column, 1 into 2 minus 1 into 2. So we are ending with 0. So in this way, whenever you come across a determinant where either two rows or two columns are found to be identical, straight away without expansion you can write its value as 0. Now let me prove it by taking a general determinant. Let delta be the determinant in which, say, R1 and R2 are identical. Need not be always R1 and R2 are identical. Any two columns or any two rows. To prove, I have taken R1 and R2 are identical. That is, delta equal to first row elements A1, B1, C1. Second row elements are also A1, B1, C1. Third row, say A3, B3, C3. Now I have to show that its value is 0. Like this, I can expand and show that its value is 0. Without expansion, I can show that its value is 0. Let us see how. Now, I interchange R1 with R2. Recall what the previous property? In a determinant, if two rows are interchanged, then value of sign of value of determinant changes. So here I have to write minus of this determinant, interchanging R1 with R2. So negative of this determinant. Third row element same. I am interchanging R1 with R2. Second row elements I have to write it in first row. What are second row elements? A1, B1, C1. Write it in first row. First row elements in second row. Is there any change to this? As those two rows are identical, even though I interchange R1 with R2, there is no change in the determinant. So now I can write this as minus a delta only, because this is same as the delta. Take minus delta to the left hand side. What we get? 2 delta equal to 0. Dividing by 2, I get delta equal to 0. So what delta is? A determinant of order 3 in which two rows are identical, and we prove that such value is 0. A very simple property you can easily remember. In a determinant, either two rows or two columns are identical, the value of determinant vanishes, it becomes 0. Now we will move on to the next property. Property 4 says, if each element of a row or column of determinant is multiplied by some constant, say k, then its value gets multiplied by k. Let us understand this. Say I take delta, determinant of order 2, say whose elements 1, 2, 3, 4, the value of determinant is -2. Now let me take one more determinant, say delta dash. It is obtained by, say, multiplying first row with 5. I am multiplying all the first row elements of delta by 5. What I get? It is 5, 10, 3, 4. Now let me find what the value of this. It is 20 minus 30, that is equal to -10. Now delta dash is 5 times of delta. I can write 5 times of delta. Delta value is how much? -2. 5 into -2, -10. So delta dash is 5 times of delta. Delta dash is obtained by multiplying first row elements of delta by 5. Look at the property statement. If each element of row of a determinant is multiplied by some constant k, here I multiplied first row elements by 5, then its value, that is a determinant value -2, is multiplied by k, that is multiplied by 5, that is equal to -10. So delta dash is 5 times of delta. We can understand this in other way also. I consider this a delta dash. It is a 5, 10, 3, 4. I rewrite this 5 into 1, 5 into 2, 3, 4. Look at the first row elements. They are multiples of 5. Because the delta dash is a determinant obtained by multiplying first row elements by 5. So 5 and 10 I written like this. As the first row elements are multiples of 5, I can take 5 common from first row. Now what I get? 1, 2, 3, 4. Nothing but it is 5 times of delta. Recall the scalar multiplication of a matrix. Suppose if A is a matrix 1, 2, 3, 4, then what 5 times of A? It is a 5, 10, 15, 20. That is, we multiplied all the elements of that matrix by 5. Suppose, say matrix B is this. Now 5 is written as 5 into 1, it is 5 into 2, it is 5 into 3, it is 5 into 4. Since all the elements under matrix are multiples of 5, I can take 5 common. It is a 5 times of matrix 1, 2, 3, 4. So B is 5 times of A. This is the other way of applying the scalar multiplication. Scalar multiplication of matrix means multiply all the elements of the matrix by constant. Or if all the elements of matrix are certain multiples of k, you are allowed to take k outside the matrix. Similarly, here also, not all the elements here, it is sufficient in any one row. All the elements are multiples of 5, you are allowed to take 5 common. Or if you want to multiply 5 to a determinant, means you should not multiply to all the elements of the determinant, sufficient you multiply to any one row or any one column. So that is what the property says. Now let us prove this by taking general determinant. To prove this property, let me take determinant of order 3. On expansion, this is the expression we get. Means it is going to represent some value. Say let it be equal to 1. Now let delta dash be the determinant obtained by multiplying R1 elements by k. I multiplied first row elements of delta by k. Need not be first row, you can multiply to second row, third row, or any column. Here I have taken R1. So what delta dash is? K times of A1, K times of B1, K times of C1. Second row A2, B2, C2. Third row A3, B3, C3. Now I have to show that this delta dash is K times of delta. I have to show, because I am multiplying first row elements by k, it is as good as multiplying to the whole determinant. So I have to show that k times of delta. For this I will expand by R1. What are the signs? Plus, minus, plus. KA1 into leave first row, first column, A2 B3 minus B3 C2, B2 C3 minus B3 C2. Next, minus KB1 into leave first row, second column, A2 C3 minus A3 C2 plus KC1 into leave first row, third column, A2 B3 minus A3 B2. Now observe all the terms, it contains k. I am taking k common. K times of A1 into B2 C3 minus B3 C2 minus B1 into A2 C3 minus A3 C2 plus C1 into A2 B3 minus A3 B2. Look at the expression inside the brackets. It is same as that. So I can write k times of delta from 1. Therefore, delta dash is k times of delta. In this way, in a determinant, if you multiply any one row or any one column with some constant k, then the whole determinant value is get multiplied by that constant. That is what the property. The other way of understanding this is, whenever in a determinant, if all the elements of a row are multiples of k, you are allowed to take k common from that particular row. Or maybe in the third column, kc1, kc2, kc3 is there, you are allowed to take k common from column 3. So this is what the property. Now the extension of this, with the help of this property, we can say one more. So we can take it as a corollary. If two elements, two rows or two columns are proportionate, if the elements in any two rows are proportional, then what happens to the value of such a determinant? Let me take that. So I take delta equal to, see here I write 2, 3, here I write 4, 6. Observe first row and second row elements. Are they proportionate? Yes, 2 by 4, 1 by 2, 3 by 6, 1 by 2. Clearly they are proportionate. Or they are multiples of each other. If that is the case, value of determinant will be 0. Now how we can say that such thing? Now suppose I take the delta dash, delta as first row K1, KB1, KC1 or KA2, KB2, KC2, and second row elements A2, B2, C2, third row elements A3, B3, C3. Now notice the first row elements and second row elements, are they proportionate? Yes, first row elements are k times the second row elements. If two rows are proportional, the value of determinant vanishes, it will be equal to 0. Let us see how it will be 0. Just now we shown that if first row elements are multiples of k, I can take that k common. Take k common from first row. So what we get? A2, B2, C2. Second row A2, B2, C2. Third row A3, B3, C3. One more property we discussed, in a determinant if two rows are identical or two columns identical, the value reduces to 0. Now k times of 0 equal to 0. Therefore, from now onwards, if you observe a determinant of higher order where two rows or two column elements are proportional, then without expansion directly you write its value as 0. I hope you followed this. Now we'll move on to the next property. Okay, property 6 says, if sum or all elements of a row, need not be all the row elements, even one or two elements is also fine. If sum or all elements of row of a determinant are expressed as sum of two or more terms, then that single determinant can be expressed as sum of two determinants or sum of three determinants, sum of four determinants, according as the elements as expressed as either sum of 2 or sum of 3, etc. Now let us prove this. For this, let me start with, let a delta be the determinant in which all first row elements, all R1 elements are sum of two terms, that is delta equal to, say A1 plus X, B1 plus Y, C1 plus Z. Second row A2, B2, C2. Third row A3, B3, C3. What I did here, I have now taken sum. If all elements of R1 of a determinant are expressed as a sum of two terms, even I can express it as sum of three terms, sum of four terms. Okay, here I written only sum of two terms. Then according to the statement, this single determinant can be expressed as a sum of two determinants. That is, I end with writing two determinants. Sum of these two determinants is same as this. That is what I had to prove. Let us proceed now. I am expanding this by R1. That is A1 plus X into, leave first row, first column, B2 C3 minus B3 C2 minus B1 plus Y into, leave first row, second column, A2 C3 minus A3 C2 plus last element C1 plus Z into, leave first row, third column, A2 B3 minus A3 B2 is equal to, first I multiply this expression by A1, then with minus B1, then with C1, make it as one group. First group is A1 into B2 C3 minus B3 C2 minus B1 into A2 C3 minus A2 C3 minus A3 C2 plus C1 into A2 B3 minus A3 B2. Next, multiply the terms with X, Y and Z. Multiplication is not yet over, that expression is continued, plus X into B2 C3 minus B3 C2 minus Y into A2 C3 minus A3 C2 plus Z into A2 B3 minus A3 B2. Now what this expression you can write? A determinant. whose first row elements A1, B1, C1, second row A2, B2, C2, third row A3, B3, C3. You can check. Expand by first row A1 into B2, C3 minus B3, C2, etc. What about this expression now? You can write it as another determinant. What is the difference? In the place of A1, B1, C1, X, Y, Z. Where A1, B1, C1 are there? In the first row. So here I write X, Y, Z. So second row A2, B2, C2. Third row A3, B3, C3. So here we started with a determinant where all the elements of first row are sum of two terms. So therefore this determinant is written as sum of two determinants. Suppose if all the elements of first row are sum of three terms, then you are able to express this single determinant as sum of three determinants. Need not be all the terms. That is why here if sum are all elements of row they are saying. Now assume that here only C1, it is not sum of two terms. Without changing its value, what you can assume? C1 plus 0. If you expand, what you are going to get here? It is 0. So in this way, if sum of the elements or all the elements of row are sum of two terms, then that single determinant can be expressed as sum of two determinants. So that is what the property. I hope you followed this. Now we'll move on to the last property. Okay, the last property says if to each element of a row of a determinant the equi multiples of corresponding elements of other row are added, the value of determinant is unaltered. The equivalent statement, the very simple one, for understanding sake, the value of determinant remains same if we apply the row or column operations. Ith row changes to ith row plus k times of jth row elements. That is, you are multiplying jth row elements by k, adding it to ith row. If you do such changes, the value of determinant is not going to alter. Similarly, ith column changes to ith column plus k times of jth column. That is, for jth column, you are multiplying by k, adding it to ith column elements. If you do so, the value of determinant is unaltered. First, let me explain by taking example. Say delta, as usual I take the simple one, 1, 2, 3, 4, and its value is minus 2. Now, delta dash is obtained by doing the row operation like, say R1 changes to R1 plus 2 times of R2. I am applying this. After applying, I write it as a delta dash. I am not changing R2, so write R2 elements as it is. How you are changing R1 elements? First multiply second elements by 2, second row elements by 2, adding it to R1. So 1 plus 2 into 3. I multiply 3 with 2, adding it to first element. Similarly here, next element, what it becomes? 2 plus 2 into 4. That is, we multiplied these two elements, that is second row elements by 2. That product is added to first row elements. 2 times of 3 plus 1, 2 times of 4 plus 2. This is what I did. Nothing but you are going to get the determinant 6 plus 1, 7, 8 plus 2, 10, 3, 4. This is what a delta dash. How delta dash is obtained? By operating row operation, by applying row operations on this delta. According to the property, even though you done this change, the value of determinant remains same. Means delta dash will be same as a delta according to the property. Let us see, expand this. It is 28 minus 30, that is equal to minus 2. You are going to get the same. Now let me operate column operation. Say C2 changes to C2 plus minus 1 times of C1. So I will write it as delta 2. Yes, which column you are changing? Column 2. Column 1 of delta, I write it as it is. How you are changing column 2? First multiply column 1 elements by what? Minus 1. Then add it to corresponding elements of column 2. That is a 2, 4. So 1 into minus 1 plus 2. Then here 3 into minus 1 plus 4. So I multiplied column 1 elements by minus 1. 1 into minus 1, 3 into minus 1. I added to the second column corresponding elements. Now let us see what the resulting determinant. 1, this is 1, 2 minus 1, second row 3, 1. Expand this, 1 minus 3, that is equal to minus 2. The original value remains same. That is, not only 1, we can apply any number of round column operation, the determinant, the value of determinant is not going to alter. Very important property it is, because while solving, frequently we will be using this kind of round column operations. Now let us prove it in general. To prove the property, I have taken let delta be a determinant of order 3. Let me construct delta dash. Delta dash be the determinant obtained by applying the row operation. R1 changes to R1 plus K times of R3. What I did? Multiply third row elements by some non-zero real number, then add it to R1. Now let us see what that delta dash is. I am not changing R2 and R3. Let them write as it is. A2, B2, C2. Third row, A3, B3, C3. What the first row elements? Multiply third row elements by K, adding it to first row. It is A1 plus K times of A3. Next, B1 plus K times of B3. This element C1 plus K times of C3. I hope you followed this. R1 changes to R1 plus K times of R3. Now my job is to show that this is the same as delta. Even though I applied the row operation, value of delta remains the same. Delta dash is equal to delta. Now observe the first row elements. They are all sum of two terms. Recall the previous property. In a determinant, if all the elements of a row are sum of two terms, that can be expressed as sum of two determinants. Now let me write it as two determinants, sum of two determinants. Second row, third row same. A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. Here also A2, B2, C2, A3, B3, C3. What about first row elements? Take out the first elements, A1, B1, C1. It is A1, B1, C1. In the second determinant, first row, second part, K3, KB3, KC3. K3, KB3, KC3. What about this? It is a delta. Plus. What about this? Look at first row and third row elements. How they are? They are proportional. We discussed whenever elements of two rows are proportional, then value of such a determinant is 0. Otherwise, you first take k common, then you will get a3, b3, c3 in the first row, third row a3, b3, c3, k times of the determinant, where first row, third row elements are identical. Again, with the earlier property, you can say that its value is 0. So I get delta plus 0. In this way, delta dash is equal to delta. So with this, we establish that for a given determinant, you apply a row or column operation of this kind, any number of row and column operation, the value of determinant is not going to change. So these are all the different properties. I hope you followed. The first one what we discussed, in a determinant, if you interchange rows into columns, value of determinant is unaltered. How to remember this? Determinant of matrix A is same as a determinant of its transpose. Determinant of A equal to determinant of A dash. First one. Second one, in a determinant, if you are shuffling, if you are interchanging two rows or two columns, then the sign of value of determinant changes. Third one, in a determinant, if any two rows or two columns are identical, then value of determinant is 0. Fourth one, in a determinant, if you multiply with some constant to any one row, then the value of determinant is multiplied by that constant k. If in a determinant any two rows are proportional, then value of determinant is 0. In a determinant, if some or all elements of a row or column are sum of two terms, then the determinant can be expressed as the sum of two determinants. And finally, if you apply any number of row and column operations on a determinant, the value of determinant is unaltered. Along with this, suppose if you come across a determinant of this kind, say delta 1, say I am writing one more, delta 2, let me write one more, do you notice anything? In all these determinants, elements either below or above the diagonal are all zeros. If you come across this kind of determinant, the value of determinant is simply product of the diagonal elements. You see here, it is just 1 into 3. In this case, it is 1 into 4 into 6. In this case, it is 1 into 3 into 6. I hope you followed. In a determinant, elements below the diagonal or above the diagonal are all 0. In order to evaluate the determinant, no need to expand. You just multiply all the elements of diagonals. That product itself is value of the determinant. Another one, suppose if we come across the determinant where all the elements in that row or maybe all the elements in any one column are zeros, then what is the value of such a determinant? Equal to 0. You expand by first row, 0 into 0 into. Here you expand by third column, all are 0. So therefore, while solving the examples, if you come across this kind of examples, straight away you can write the values. So in the next class, we are going to discuss the examples, that is, to evaluate the determinants, we are applying all these properties what we proved. They are very, very important. You please go through them and write once or twice along with the proof. Remember the property. In the next class, we will solve the examples with the help of these properties. Thank you.